Hello and welcome to session 23 of Primordial Harmony, a heavily modified run-through of Wizards of the Coast's Princes of the Apocalypse D&D adventure. I am your host and DM, Mike, and tonight I am joined by...
I'm Nyx, and I am playing Ilaria. She's a Wood Elf Ranger with her pet panther, Valora.
I'm Senna, and I'm playing Delia, the Gnome Wizard.
I am Kitties, and I am playing a gnome bard named Hum.
What's going on, nerdy peeps? I'm Miles. I am playing Tadias, an Aasimar Seeker.
And I'm Zafin. I'm playing Zachariel Vitalis, a Fire Genasi Shovel Knight.
Excellent. When we last left the Excavators, the party, after poor Hum had her eardrums assaulted, dispatched the strange spell-casting road assailants after a clever placement of a silence spell. They then continued, and in the next couple days arrived outside the palisade of Oreborough. But when they tried to enter, they were stopped by a pair of guards that claimed the town was closed. The party's first attempt to pass themselves off as merchants didn't go through. Something wasn't right. So they went and camped on the other side of the road, out of sight. Tadias sending Udarnik, his dragonfly familiar, to scout the town. What he saw was a sorry sight. In the middle of the two groupings of shed-like dwellings, campfires lowly burned, surrounded by disparaged townfolk. They were filthy and appeared fatigued, and walking around, and just as well, walking around town, and up top of the walls were a frightening large number of guards. Something was clearly wrong. The next morning, at the suggestion of Illyria and the chagrin of Zachariel, the group dolled themselves up, sans Zachariel, in order to pass themselves off as ladies of the night, determined to get into town. It was an incredibly tough sell, and even with Hum's vocalized feminine charms, they were turned away. With few options left, the party decided to try and sneak over the wall in the dark of night. Zachariel scouted around the perimeter of the town and found an opening and closing of a blind spot. That evening, the party crawled to the base of the 20-foot wall of rusty iron poles. Illyria and Tadias both casting the silent spell, and then Tadias tossing his grappling hook up to the lip of the wall. Quickly, the party made it up and over the wall, narrowly avoiding the gaze of the guardsmen. After a few minutes in the darkness of the platform next to the wall, the party quickly sneaked across the ground into one of the abandoned shed-like structures on the edge. Hum then donned a magical disguise and blended in with the crowd near the fire, which up close were more like a pile of embering coals. What she saw was another sad, sorrowful sight. The townsfolk that Udarnik saw were clearly unkempt and worked to the bone. Even a couple of halflings who were there looked absolutely miserable. While she sat with the group and listened, an older human recognized that she was a new face and approached her. After some back and forth, Hum took a chance and brought the old man back to the party, where he explained the plight of Oreborough, how the actual town watch had been overthrown, town guards killed or captured by a powerful group of ne'er-do-wells. In fact, some of the guardsmen turned and joined the villainous group. For the past 10 days, they made the miners of Oreborough work grueling hours, but forced them to turn over any valuables they found. We return to the scene with the old man, Derek, and the party in the abandoned shed. You see Derek sitting on the ground before you. He just finishing that one sentence talking about what's going on in Oreborough. And suddenly Valora, who has been with you the whole time, sort of springs to her feet. And Derek sort of flinches a bit. Ha! Oh, you have a panther with you.
Yes, I do. Does it bother you?
No, I just didn't notice. You can tell in that moment he's trying to get you to fill in the blank of Valora's gender.
Her.
I just didn't notice her. And then you notice that Valora is standing straight and her ears are up and open, and she's staring in a direction toward the main drag of the town. and suddenly you hear thump, 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 and Derek's body tenses. One more
What is that?
One more thing I hadn't mentioned yet. They have something else to keep us in line. He kind of lowers his shoulders a bit more, looks at the party. Have any of you ever heard of a bullet?
Oh, what?
A bullet.
What?
It's... They're...
Can I make a check to see if I know anything about bullets?
Absolutely. Roll me Arcana.
Arcana. There.
And also a nature roll would work too in this case. Tadias, you know that a bullet is a creature of somewhat dubious origin. They are giant predators that both feast on the minerals in the earth as well as flesh. They have they're like giant. They have the hide of. They have a really tough hide that is reminiscent of sharks, and have a jaw to match.
That's a very dangerous creature to be here.
He says, "Well, they're sort of a normal but rare hazard for us in the mines. Former guard used to use pikes to dispatch any that got close to town, but now one of the folks that run the place," he kind of says that bitterly, "rides one. Every third day or so he comes around to intimidate us. I don't know how he managed to tame one, but he shrugs."
Is it going to be dangerous for you to be missing?
You hear like the thump sound. It doesn't seem to be drawing closer. It just seems to be changing direction as Valora starts to look. Her gaze sort of shifts. She's slowly moving. It seems like wherever this thing is, it's not getting anywhere near. And Derek says, "No, they don't usually come in at night unless there's somebody already missing. They seem to be... They seem convinced that no one's going to get out on their watch."
So they think someone's missing.
When you say that, he kind of like looks at Valora and then just kind of like tilts his head, listening to the sounds of the footsteps. And he says, maybe if they are, it'd be on the outside, but what I meant was they would come in with the beast to intimidate us. In other words, I'm fine here for now, don't worry.
I look over at Zachariel and Tadias in the group, and I say, "What are we going to do?"
Well, I'm sure the people do not want to abandon their town. I don't know exactly how we can remove this leader, but there must be one.
I think the best course of action is to cut the head off the snake.
Generally, head cutting does kill things, yes.
I imagine that whoever's walking around on whatever this creature is you say is probably pretty important.
And they bring this creature around every third day?
Derek says, or fourth. Haven't really kept track too much.
So, these valuables that they are taking from the mine, they are putting them somewhere, yes?
Any ore that we dig up gets put into the warehouse, and any gems we find gets taken somewhere else. None of us are sure where.
Do you think that's the sole reason that they are here?
Shrugs. money's a strong motivator.
At least they're a little simpler than the other ones. It's not crushing the entire town and killing everyone.
Oh, Jedi's. With all due respect, this man's been through a great, tragic time. Imagine that, I don't know for sure, but if these guys are anything like the other ones, probably up to something more. I doubt they're just here for money. They don't strike me as a common bandit.
We need more information. Anyone have ideas?
This seems almost more cruel than just coming in and smashing the whole town, though. Working people until they fall over is not cool.
It's an occupation. Happens in the war all the time.
How true you are.
It doesn't excuse them from their sins. Now, you say these mines, how deep do they go? Is there any place that is off limits to you?
Derek sort of, sorry, dozed off there. Takes a deep breath. There are some places that are off limits, but off limits under our, he kind of gestures to himself, direction, mostly cave-ins, dangerous tunnels that can collapse at any moment.
So you're saying that... In fact, Derek, one other question. Have you heard a rumbling noise or a device that sounds like it rumbles? Anyone in the mine?
He says, they do, actually. A couple days ago, a group of their folk rolled into town with these strange board-looking things. Seemed that they're made of earth, and they rode them like, what do you call something that you can ride on water with?
Like a boat?
A boat, sort of. Only they weren't paddling. That's the word.
Well,
They rolled through and then rolled up into the mountains.
Like a land boat. Imagine where I've ever seen one of those.
I'm sure you can trademark land boat. That sounds very impressive. No, Derek,
I just look over to Aurelia.
Derek, exactly, who is their leader? You said someone took out the head of the guard. Does he have a name?
He says, he rubs his eyes. Hard to remember what they called each other. They didn't really shout any names at each other during the whole event, and in terms of their leader, I don't really recall any names. I heard they're under, and then he gives a yawn. Oh, sorry. That they're foot soldiers referred to.
No. I have to
Can
be... No, go ahead,
Can I roll an insight check to see if he's being honest?
Sure. You can tell that he's just really tired. It's late, and it's clear that he's been working all day. He's also old. And Hum sort of puts it together that he's being as honest as he can, he's just tired.
Derek, do you think your people are in a position to help us? Or would it be better for us to try to get you out of the city?
help you how?
If we come up with an idea that might involve you, do we have your support?
Do you mean fighting?
No. I don't imagine any of you are going to fight the guard. Distract, however. Cause problems. Diversions. Give us information. These are all things that will be very useful.
Strokes his chin, says, I'll see what I can do. I'll talk to the people when I have a chance.
Good man.
I don't know if I can turn them. Everyone here is pretty, well, hopeless. I don't know if I can turn them around quickly. But
Right.
I'll do my best.
Well, they show interest in the money. They show interest in the gems. I think we hit them where it hurts. If we go to the safe house, try to do a little bit of renovations, we might be able to find our leader.
He says, you're gonna destroy the warehouse?
No. Just the guard. If all of a sudden we have their income, it's going to be very difficult for them to not send their troops that way.
He kind of just stares at you, blinking that he doesn't understand what you're getting at.
He's alright, don't worry about it. You're very worth. Just
Alright.
sit down and relax.
He says, you seem to have snuck in here easily. Are you going to stay in town?
I kind of look at the group. What do we think?
I'm not leaving until every one of them is dead.
There's your answer.
Derek.
Hmm.
How far did you go into the mines? I mean, is there an exit on the other side of the mountains?
Usually, no. One of the mines has a second exit, but it goes east a ways.
Derek, how much do you know about the Way Shield?
He says, decent amount.
You know that we don't work for free?
I do.
The only thing I require is a yellow gemstone.
He
We
says,
free your people. Can you give me this?
I'll see if anyone has anything stashed. It's a hard sell, though. They search thoroughly.
Good.
But hopefully if you find where they're keeping our gems, well, you can take your payment from that.
I just need the one gem.
Alright. If it were in my power, I'd give you several.
Well, I appreciate that. This one gem is more important than any riches.
Kind of like rubs his temple, if you say so. And then he stretches his back and yawns again.
Do not forget, Zachariel. We are here for Lyria as well.
Aye, but I don't want to eat you, old friend.
Who knows, I might be delicious.
Well, based on how you were dressed yesterday, probably.
We should probably let Derek get some rest.
You've been very helpful, Derek. Thank you for your assistance.
He's at this point, he's got his elbow in his hand, and then he's resting his cheek on his fist, and oh, you're welcome.
One last question, Derek.
Yes.
Do you know a man named Dezel? Is it Dezel? Dezel?
No, it's Dezel. He says, "Oh, the merchant?
Yeah.
Yeah, he rolled through town a couple days ago, and after he left, it seemed that they weren't letting anyone in.
Strange plan.
Oh, the guards now let him in and then back out.
Well, he sold some fabrics, and they went to...
I imagine he had a cart.
He did, actually. This is the DM talking.
Very cart-centric here.
Wait, you say he sold fabrics?
Yeah, remember?
That wasn't Dezel, that was another guy.
Wait, what?
Dizzle was the... Oh.
Dezel's the ore contact.
Yeah.
One second.
The guy with the fabrics, his name began with an F?
Oh, whoops. Oh, the
Cartel.
supplier. Oh, God. Okay, I confused them. Shit. Alright, we're gonna have to retcon that because I confused names. Alright, Dezel. He says, yeah, Dezel used to be a distributor,
Used to be. What's he doing now?
mining.
I see. Okay. Thank you, Derek.
Wasn't really fit for... Oh, you're welcome. He wasn't really fit for work, but any able-bodied man and some women they sent to the mines.
So, I have a crazy idea.
We're listening.
Is it any crazier than our last one?
It is.
Oh god.
It's a little dangerous, and if I had the ability to do it myself, I would volunteer myself, but I cannot change my appearance. What if someone who could change their appearance took Derek's place, working tomorrow to get more intel on the inside of the mine?
How tall is Derek?
How tall is Derek? He's a human. Alright, give me a second. We're gonna roll for it.
We actually rolled my little dice for it.
No, I'm gonna use the human height table from,
Exactly.
yeah. I'm just looking for the, here we go. Height, base height, human. Human. Base height is 4'8". Plus 2d10 inches. Oh god. Actually, if I roll, like, at all, it'll be outside of Hum's. Wait, how tall is Hum?
2'9".
Oh, there's
Yeah.
no way. I mean, you could talk to one of the halflings you saw and try to do that way. Don't forget you saw some halflings.
What if you change... Never mind, I wouldn't know that. What if we had a canary that we could train to send into the mine?
We do.
Do?
Yes. Just remember, if it squashed it, it'll cost 50 gold.
When did you buy a canary?
I pull out a dragonfly.
And?
It's a little cuter than a canary. Shiny.
Right.
I can fly it in there, it's just... It's going to be tricky, I don't know what I'm looking for.
Don't you have to be close enough to see through his... I don't know how your spells... I just imagine there's some sort of range.
I can see from any amount of distance as long as I'm on the same plane. I just have trouble telling him where to go after he reaches a certain radius. So he has to be preset with instructions, and navigate an entire mine is a hell of an instruction, would you say?
Derek starts snoring. He's just kind of like leaning on his lap.
He's worse than my uncle, I swear. So yes, I do have your canary. I just don't know if it's going to be as useful as you think it is. If you have an
I'm
idea.
just spitballing. You know.
Well, what if we looked into, there were a couple halflings?
Well, I mean, you've seen what they look like, so you can easily disguise yourself. The issue is, I imagine that these people have an accurate count on how many workers they have.
I nudged Derek.
Oh. Oh. Sorry. What else do you need to know?
The halflings in your group, are they trustworthy?
He says, he's kind of like, rubbing his eyes. He says, no Ford and Hallie? They're alright. Pains me every time I look at them. They're so sad.
How would they feel about the day off? At least one of them.
Oh, they'd be probably ecstatic. We all would be.
If you aren't okay with this, I can't ask it of you. It's very dangerous.
It's scary, but what is it I would do to Zachrio?
Well, I imagine just any intel at all would be useful. I don't know how we're going to get it otherwise. I mean, if we attack during the day, they'll know where we're coming from. They'll see it. If we attack at night, they'll hear it and eventually find us. There's too many civilians here for anything risky. I just feel like it would behoove us to learn and gather some intel in any way that we can.
And then Derek slowly speaks up and he kind of points at Tadias, specifically at Udarnik, and he says, "What was that little bug there?"
He's my friend.
Oh.
I can kind of tell him what to do and see through his eyes and hear what he hears. A little fly on the wall.
He kind of smiles. Mages. Something else.
Barely. I only learned a little. My uncle's the good one. If you want to see real magic, I kind of point over. Talk to her.
Looks at Delia. Just kind of nods.
Oh, I'm not that good.
The only problem with my disguise spell is it only lasts an hour.
Oh. Don't suppose you can use that 13 times in a day?
No.
I'm gonna look it up now because I'm curious about higher levels.
You just kind of have to recast it.
No, I know, but I'm just wondering if... Nope. Huh. You would think that if you cast at a higher level, you get an extra hour or 30 minutes or something. No.
Well, guess the only thing we can do is attack.
I say that we send Udarnik in on Derek's shoulder.
That's an idea. Could keep them in... I got a little pocket. Just in case they recognize it's not from around here. There aren't many of those little, dragonflies.
Is an idea?
Sure. he says.
I start pep talking Udarnik in my hand, like, he's going to take you, the nice man is going to put you in your pocket. And I want you to just...
Derek smiles lightly.
And
sort of transforms his face, and you kind of see what used to be a very warm, kindly old man.
And I very carefully, open my hands and let Udarnik kind of fly over to his pocket, just kind of pop it.
He kind of sneaks into his jacket. He stretches and he says, he looks at his pocket and says, "Why don't you keep him for now? I don't want to roll over on him when I snooze."
You snooze? Well, if you want to see a magic trick, I clap my hands together and Udarnik's gone from his pocket.
Oh. He kind of... Hey, by the way, is there a range for how far away they have to be for you to de-summon them?
No, the range is for communication on commands.
Yeah, interesting.
There's no range for de-summoning and no range for the sight and sound. So you can leave them at your home and just literally pop back in anytime you want, but you can't tell them what to do for another place.
He kind of nods and he says, "Oh, maybe if something goes wrong, I can give you a little signal and you can do that again."
That would be very, very nice. Thank you.
He nods.
But I think you need some rest, Derek, so you should...
He points at you like, absolutely. And then he starts to get up. And he goes to, walks out and just kind of trudges back toward the fire.
We'll see you tomorrow morning.
He just kind of waves. You can see he's a little illuminated by the moonlight and your dark vision as he walks back to the coals that are almost burned out, mostly just white briquettes now, and slinks into a hovel. At this point, there's one person that's left sitting around the coals, and when they see Derek, they kind of go up to him and address him, and Derek pats him, and then, reassuringly, and then they both slink into their own little hovels, and that's it. What do you do?
Alright, here's what I think. No good here during the day, so we should stay up the rest of the night and sleep during the day. Still do shifts. But kind of useless for us to walk around during the day when all the civilians are working in a mine. Although maybe there's less guards here then.
Will Zachariel be able to observe while he's sleeping during the day?
I mean, I imagine that we'll just do it like regular watch. It's just flipping the sleep cycle, that's all it is.
Well, if I'm going to be inside that man's pocket for the entire day, I should probably get some rest now. So I started setting up my stuff in the corner and kind of getting a little relaxed and leaning up against the squalor wall.
Yeah, it's not really that squalor. The place is, but the wall is actually a very decent construction. It's a very sturdy structure. It's just, there's no floor. It's dirt and...
Oh.
Huh?
Go ahead.
And, the sheet metal that they used for a roof is, starting to corrode, and there's a hole in it that lets in the moonlight.
Valeria, Delia, Laura.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts? Should we stay up all night and sleep during the day? Should we sleep during the night, regular watch, stay up all day, doing nothing inside this house?
Well, we should probably sleep tonight. Because if Tadias is going to be awake and deaf and blind to what's going on around him, he'll need people watching over him.
Magic. Strange stuff. Alright.
I think we should just take shifts sleeping.
Sleeping tonight.
Yeah, it was just like we're camping outside, except we're deep in enemy territory, surrounded by multiple contacts from all sides. Strange creature. What cozy sleep we're about to have.
Can't think I could of any better place to sleep.
I'm gonna move away from the window so nobody sees my hair.
Yeah. Hey, what happens to his hair when he's nervous?
What do you mean nervous?
Like, like how you're describing it right now. You're in an anxious situation. So when
I just imagine that it's always like giving off some sort of light, so...
Okay. But I mean, like, is it a low light? Is it, like, similar to when he's really mad? All, like, Disney's Hercules Hades style? Or...
No, it's pretty chill.
Okay. It's like a cool blue.
He's not really in a stressful situation. It is stressful, but...
Got it.
Soldier, I mean...
Okay, I'm just curious. I want the flavor. Yeah, so... You guys set up watch?
I'll take first watch.
I'll take first watch with Delia.
I'll take second watch.
Third.
I'm already asleep.
Somebody can wake him up.
Well, Illyria, you'll be finished doing that thing you do anyway. Sure, guys might wake up with you.
Alright.
I believe I'm already finished.
What?
She's finished with the out of character. She's finished with the poison.
Yeah, I was talking about trance.
Ah.
Not an elf. I don't understand elf culture.
I don't understand elf culture. Alright, well, the night begins. Delia and Hum, you guys need to roll me perception checks. Alright. Delia, near the last half hour of your 2-hour shift, your watch, wait, let me get to the map because that's where we are. North of you, relative to the map, you hear what sounds like, it's actually hard to describe this sound. You hear a and it's coming from your north direction.
I'm gonna tap home and tell her to listen. Do you know what that is?
That's the weirdest sound I've ever heard.
Make either history or nature checks. Something about that sound, Delia, is familiar.
Is it coming closer?
It's not. It seems to be far off.
So it's not loud enough that everybody else will wake up?
Nope.
Do you think we should just wait it out? See if it comes closer?
Yeah, let's listen for a little longer.
Okay. You listen, and the half hour, the last half hour of your watch goes on, and you keep hearing the sound. And when it's time to when it's time for Zachariel to relieve you or for you to wake him up, the sound is continuing.
I kick Zachariel. Hey, there's a weird noise. Listen.
Jeez, you have to kick so hard.
I didn't kick you in the head.
It should call you Ironfoot Hum.
It's not my feet you have to worry about.
Oh. Okay. What's this sound?
Listen.
Well, that sounds familiar.
What is it?
It does
It could be
sound.
one of.
It does sound familiar to you a little bit. Roll a history check.
It could be one of two things. Let me roll the dice inside my mind.
Inside my mind.
Fuck.
It just sounds familiar. Kind of
Sounds like someone's digging a hole. I use a shovel quite often. It's a familiar sound.
Why would someone be digging a hole?
I don't know. Maybe one of these guards got too rough, or maybe they don't have plumbing here, so they're pooping in the ground and covering it up. I don't know.
I like the poop idea, but it's been going on for a while.
Well, you know how it is after you eat so much hardtack.
I usually get stopped up. Pooping is a problem.
Yeah, but when it does happen,
Alright, what do you do?
I guess I'll start watching. I kind of pull the cloak from my waist area of my armor up around my head, so I'm not shining bright.
Yeah.
I just look out the window. Like I do that. You know how you sit on the side of the window and look out around the.
So you look out the window, and there's one that faces sort of northward, and then one that's like shuttered by a sheet metal kind of tucked into the opening in the wall. Which one are you looking out of?
I would do both. I'll go with the north first because the other one's probably going to make a little bit of noise.
So you looking out the north window through the houses, you can see sort of a glimmer up against them.
Hell is that?
And it's also where the sound that you are still hearing is coming from.
Alright, I'm going to walk over and wake up Tadias.
Okay.
Hey, wait a minute. Before you wake up Tadias, we have another familiar with us.
What?
True. Mine is a little bit bigger, though. Might be
Don't
more
get to brag about it.
conspicuous.
What is your familiar?
I'll summon Nathan.
Oh, right, the dragon.
Yeah, a little pseudo dragon.
Hmm. Is he stealthy? Quiet? Wait a second. How does that spell work? Are you just able to summon him wherever?
Yeah, I can take an action to
A what?
I can temporarily
Sorry.
dismiss and then pull him up again.
Well, why don't you just look out the window here and summon him way up in the sky, have him look down, figure out what this is, and poof him away. At the very least, you may scare a guard or have a hallucination, and then the other guards beat him up and throw him in prison or whatever.
I can try.
Oh,
I mean, if you want to try,
I didn't notice
you
that.
don't want to wake up Tadias.
Let's do it. I'm down for it. I'm gonna dismiss Nathan and then
Wait, where was he before?
stepping back. He was in his little pocket dimension.
No, but you said this. Oh, did you summon him already?
Yeah, to
Oh,
show
okay.
him off.
Oh, okay, got it. So you summoned him
then,
about 30 feet up?
And then I'll telepathically communicate with him and look through his eyes.
Okay. You see some lights that you recognize them being a wizard in a wizard academy, mage academy, magic user academy, that this is the spell Dancing Lights. And you notice that there's somebody under the lights working the field with a hoe.
I thought they didn't let those into the city.
What?
That's funny.
Oh. Jesus.
Sorry.
Is it still dark out?
Yeah. Still night.
And does it look like a villager or a guard that's hoeing the field?
From this distance, you can't really tell through Nathan's eyes.
Can I get any closer without breaking the communication?
100 feet, right?
Yeah.
Not really.
Okay.
You can give him an order, though.
I think I'll just tell him to come back and then dismiss him.
Okay.
So there's someone working out in a field to the north of us.
In the dark.
Well, they have this spell called Dancing Lights, and it's definitely a magic user doing it.
Okay, so apparently one of these cultists likes to till the fields. Interesting.
In the middle of the night, though?
Well, maybe it's peaceful. I don't know. What? I can't imagine that they would let someone who casts magic be free among townspeople. Amongst. Or maybe he just, came by here and tried to come through the main gate as a prostitute, was turned down, and climbed over the wall and is now tilling the fields. Oh.
You see
With his
the guy
hose?
sneeze in his sleep. Just
What do you do?
You two should go to sleep.
It's weird, Zachariel.
I know it's weird.
Very weird.
Do you want to go out and ask him what he's doing?
It's true, there's not much we can do about it.
Okay, weirdness. Go to sleep.
Can you send him a message?
What's the message?
I don't know, ask him what he's doing.
How'd you get your hoe in?
What's the range on message?
Tell him they don't like hoeing around here. I think it's 120 feet.
Yeah, you can't really reach the field.
I know nothing about magic. I just know that I can spit fire and steam out of my hands. My mouth. So, go to sleep.
We'll go to sleep.
Yeah.
Zachary, in the middle of, well, more like near the end of your watch, the sound stops. And doesn't pick up again. And then your watch ends.
Alright. I wake up with Laria.
She trances out of her trance.
Alright, Laria. Be careful. There's someone hoeing in the fields. Or was.
In the middle of the night?
Yes.
Something's fishy going on. Did you guys check it out?
I mean, we tried to, but I don't know how magic works. So I just assumed that they seen what they could see. There was no other way to get close. Anyway, would you like me to wake up Princess Porkchop for you, so you have someone to be on watch with?
I don't know. Yeah, let's wake him up.
Alright. I'm gonna have to apologize for that one, but it was good.
Princess Porkchop.
I wake him up, I shake him.
You're there.
Alright, I'm sorry.
What? Wait,
I called you Princess Porkchop.
Oh, I didn't know you cared.
Yeah.
I get a cloth and go to Sias and wipe off his lips a little bit. You still got a little bit of, lipstick left on you.
Thanks, Mom. Alright. So, is it my watch? Is that what's happening?
Well, I think Illyria's gonna be awake the rest of the night, but I figured you might want to, not sleep all day or all night. Maybe you want to join her. Use those keen, angelic eyes of yours. I don't know.
Sure. You should
I'm getting
go
really
see
bored here.
Zachary. You're
Good
getting
eyes.
very... Yeah, I can tell. You should really get some rest yourself. You have to do all the killing that you promised that man later.
Oh yeah. Could do that.
Alright, go ahead, big guy. Get some sleep.
I prop my shield up against the wall, put my pack against the shield as a pillow, then I curl into my shovel on my side, facing the wall.
All right.
Oh, so I guess Zachariel didn't tell Tadias about what was happening in the field.
Nope, I know nothing.
Okay, so yeah, apparently they heard something coming from the field to the northwest of us.
What it sound
Something
like?
magical or something, but I didn't check it out.
Something we can look into when it becomes dark again.
Oh, for sure.
So,
So I look out. What do we see?
nothing. The night is passing along in a calm yet tense peacefulness, and after about 2 hours, nothing really happens.
Should I see what the dragonfly spies?
Go for it.
Alright. I summon you dark out of a little hidey hole, and I just think to him for a second to go just do a quick spin around and then come back as fast as
Quick spin around. All right.
Yeah.
He does a little spin around. He goes over the fields and he kind of flies over around the buildings. And when he gets to here, 1 second. Yeah. When he gets to here, he sees a light over at this entrance. And then he kind of spins around and then comes back.
The light? Is that what you were all looking at? Or was it something else? That's the only thing that seemed magical to me.
Oh, I know nothing about the light that happened in the middle of the night.
He
You're
also
gonna have to
sees
ask the other guy.
he also sees what looks like torchlight coming from this building here. Like there's like some sort of light source inside this building that Udarnik saw coming from a window.
Did it look in any way like the captives?
He couldn't really tell. All you instructed him to do was, do it once over. You saw a light that looked like it wasn't torchlight, but about as bright as a torchlight, and then actual orange, torchlight firelight coming from this building here. So let me mark that.
Well, I don't know how likely it is, but the way Derek was reacting to magic, I don't think any of the captives can cast spells. So when we do start moving around and exploring this place, we might want to check out that area.
For sure.
Hum coughs really loud.
He's supposed to be sleeping.
The rest of the night passes. And in the gray of dawn, you hear footsteps, a good number of footsteps coming down the trail, and you hear somebody go, "Alright, load her up, let's go. Let's go. Get your picks, we're going now. Anyone who's falling behind gets the boot." And you hear shuffling and groans. People start filing out of their little shed homes, and from where you are, you can hear them start to sort of gather. Do you do anything?
I'm gonna look out and see if I see Derek coming by.
You look out, you do in fact see Derek kind of jogging over. He's wearing
I'll be right back.
he's wearing overalls, and he is kind of like hunched over, and he walks over, quick.
Alright, I'm just gonna hand you Darnik and put him in the pocket.
Alright, Udarnik is in his pocket. And then he says, he gives you an okay sign, and then he turns around and starts walking back. Then you hear, "Old man! A little late." And then it's all you kind of hear, and then kind of quiets down a little bit with just the regular sounds of voices. It seems that if Derek was to be intimidated, he played his part well. And you hear footsteps start to go up. Does anybody want to do anything at this point?
Well, I'm gonna sit down and just kind of, start to glaze over and start looking at the wall.
Alright.
It's gonna be
Anybody else?
a few hours of me being remote.
We should draw a fake mustache on him.
I was thinking whole makeup.
You guys can, or Delia knows that he can feel you still. He can't hear or see, but he can feel with his skin.
That's what makes it
skin,
funnier.
Tactile. Okay, I'll let you resolve that then. So Udarnik kind of peeks out from Derek's little pocket. It's overalls, and it's got like several pockets, and he's in one that's on his waist, sort of. And you see a whole group of people with tools being distributed at these. Oops. Wait a minute, hold on. Oh, right, I did that. 1 second. We're going to... Whoa, what's happening? Now, just make sure I can do that. Yeah. Callouts. Alright. Over on I, one of the eyes, specifically this one. Actually, no, sorry. This building, which you recognize as probably the warehouse, it has 2 armed guards next to it, and another guard distributing mining picks to the miners as they start.
From the warehouse, they're distributing the picks?
Yeah.
Okay.
And as they're doing that, you watch. Actually, I want to wait for Nyx to come back for this. So why don't we take 5? It's mid-session.
Sounds good.
Sounds
All right.
good.
We'll be right back. DM has returned.
Welcome back,
Thanks. Hey, thanks.
DM.
Oh, shit.
I'm back.
Absconds.
Welcome back, Senna.
Thank you.
And then returns.
Welcome back,
Thanks.
GM.
Who's, is it just you that's here, Justin?
Nope.
No, I'm here. And so Senna.
I am also here.
So we're waiting on Nyx.
See?
Okie doke.
Kitties, I'm thinking rainbow mustache and beard. That's what I is.
Absolutely.
With the leftover pigments that you got at the arts and crafts store in Forest Ride.
Yep.
Absolutely. And then we should put feathers in his hair and a little bit of glitter.
You guys know that you're supposed to be incognito currently, right?
Cognito. How much more cognito can you get than a rainbow mustache and beard?
No, I said incognito. The opposite of cognito. Conspicuous.
I don't know the meaning of that word.
There's 2 gnomes in the party. You know there's trouble coming.
I'm a giant fireman. I don't think I can be.
And I have a giant starry pointed hat. So
I am
We're
wearing
pretty
your
conspicuous.
giant starry pointed hat. You are wearing a large orc hat.
Oh yeah, it
That's
echoes
true.
when you talk. And it slips down every time you push it back up. I'll give Nyx another couple of minutes before we continue.
Oh man,
Oh,
I should have
man.
picked a wood carver's kit.
Instead of cooking?
No, just to have something to do during this. You know.
Oh man, poor Zachriel. Although you do have mold earth, so you can like experiment.
Oh
with that.
yeah. Let's just start making noise by shifting Earth around.
Well, you don't have to. It says up to a 5-foot cube, so like you could just like make little things in the ground, like little sculptures, if you wanted.
Once Hum is done decorating Tadias to a, good, so it's good enough for both Delia and I
to her
start
satisfaction.
tinkering again.
I'm gonna start taking ration packs and trying to make an actual meal out of them, and I'll just heat them up with produce flame in my hand.
Well, now I want to see what they define as in rations. How do they describe this? Jerky, dried fruit, hardtack, and nuts. So there's jerky in there.
There's a lot you can make with that.
And dried fruit and nuts. So you could make like, I don't know.
The hardtack could be softened and you could make like a cobbler type thing.
Oh my god. Ration cobbler.
Ration cobbler.
Hi, welcome back to Cooking with Zachariel. This week, we'll be making a cobbler out of ration packs.
First you gotta take the ration, it's wrapped in this parchment. You lay it down, open it up, then you just pour water on it.
And next we want to set our oven to a medium to high heat. Those of you that can't use produce flame, not sure how you're going to do this on the road.
No, this is where you have the sponsor from Simple Heat.
Yeah, that's right.
Hum looks over at Delia and says, "What's your favorite animal?"
My whole research has been dedicated to the Feywild, so I love animals that are in the Feywild, like satyrs. They're my favorite.
So Hum's going to take the next hour and she makes Delia a little mechanical satyr.
Oh my god, that's adorable.
There's something that's going to like possibly change what you're doing to pass time. Just FYI. Although I might just start now.
I'm in a rush.
I mean...
I'll start sharpening all my javelins and spears.
I'll give her 10 more minutes.
I tell Delia, if you want, and when we're in battle, you can send it out, and it has a little bit of strength, but not much. But it's a great distraction.
This is perfect. How much does it weigh?
It's just a little mechanical, so probably 2 pounds.
What's your favorite animal, Hum?
I don't know. I like my mouse. I mean, Sprinkles lives in my pack. I reach in and I pull Sprinkles out.
An interesting name for a mouse.
It's what it does.
And then, kinda, yeah.
I've always been partial to owl bears. Interesting creatures. Half bear, half owl. always thought how terrifying it would be if they could fly.
It's probably good they don't.
Can I minor illusion an owlbear?
It wouldn't fit in the 5-foot cube, but you can minor illusion a cub.
So like a tiny one?
Sure.
Do that and have it fly around.
Owlbears. Wait a minute. Fly around.
Yeah, it's an illusion.
True.
Did you not hear what I said before that? Where
I don't
said
know, I don't
I've
think it would
always-
be that bad.
Wait, what?
Mike, you obviously missed something.
I must have.
I said I've always been partial to owl bears,
Right.
half bear, half owl.
Yeah.
And then I said I have also thought it would be terrifying if they could fly.
Oh, okay. I get it now. Sorry I had to make you dissect that.
No, it's fine. The moment's gone.
Yeah. Alright. I'm gonna keep going.
Alright.
Is Miles here?
I am.
Alright. Okay, so Udarnik is in Derek's pocket, and him and the rest of the miners are, getting their tools for the day. Sort of, some of them are taking some abuse. One of them gets kind of kicked for funsies. I want you to make me a perception check using Dragonfly's stuff, since it's his eyes.
Ally. She. There it is. Wasn't coming up for a second. Alright, so we have a +4.
Alright. Well.
Oh, I have advantage on it as well. I didn't see that, but
Ah.
yeah, keen smell and sight. 20.
Okay.
A little more.
So as the approach, and Udarnik is just going about his thing and grabs his pick. Or sorry, Derek does that. Then Udarnik looks around and on one of the guards, their breastplate, now in the light, is clearly sort of made of this black granite kind of stuff, and the light catches it just right, and sort of carved into it subtly, very subtle engraving, is a symbol that you recognize very, very well. Wait a minute.
The mountain.
Fuck. Yeah. Yeah, that.
Mm-hmm.
Very subtle though. He has to catch the right kind of light.
Alright.
And you see something happens coming out from these buildings here. You hear, and everyone hears because they sort of turn to that direction, these footsteps running, and this kid who looks like he's in his late teens starts running toward the person collecting or distributing pickaxes, and he says, "Damn you, give me back my dad!" And he sprints toward the guard, raising a rusty-looking sword. At the last second, one of the guards standing next to the person distributing picks sort of just lowers their spear down to the ground and trips the kid. And the person distributing pickaxes just sort of like lets one on the ground. You know that scene from Toy Story 2 with the prospector and how he like holds his pickaxe?
Yeah.
It's like that.
Shine in his face.
And he says, well, an upstart, huh? Oh, you're that old captain's little squirt. He kicks him. Ugh. He says, shouldn't worry about your father. He's doing important work for us. You, on the other hand, mouthing off and running at me. What do you think, boys? 2 double shifts? His comrades grunt. All right, then. One of them picks up the boy and sets him on his feet. and just kind of punches him in the back. Ah! Says, "Walk, boy," and they go off. Everyone starts to sort of follow suit, being prodded ahead by guards, and they start to leave the town. Your silence makes me think nothing will be done, so they continue.
I'm not gonna do anything with the dragonfly.
Yeah, for sure. Well, you can't do anything. Oh wait, there's no way. Well, there is a way for you to inform your party members, but does Tadias do anything at that point?
No.
Okay. They start going up the road, and at this fork here, one group of like 4. So there's about 30 or so people, 30 to 40 people, and then about 16 guards that you can sort of see. You kind of count the unfamiliar faces that Udarnik sees, and you eventually come to that conclusion. 2 guards and 5 of the miners go this way, and the rest of the group goes this way, including Derek. So they go up the mountains and they start hiking through this mountainous trail, switchbacks, and then goes down, goes through a pass. A group splinters off and goes into some hills, not including Udarnik, and then gets to another small fork with another small trail leading off, and another small group of 5 miners and 2 guards with Derek goes off, and leaving the rest of this group to continue on. The group that Derek is with continues hiking through these hills, goes up a switchback and then down a small hill, and Udarnik sees a small entrance into a hole, and they enter. Torches are lit as they begin to enter, and Derek looks back, and you can see a guard, one of the guards, standing out in the entrance, while another guard says, "Keep walking," pushes him with his the butt of his spear. Ugh. Derek says, "Sorry," and turns around and then keeps walking. Goes into the mine and starts picking away. So this will represent throughout the day. Hold on a second. Oops. That's it. All right. Go ahead and roll me a perception check.
Gotcha. Let's roll 2 d20s, and then the best one's 15, so that means it's a 19.
All right. Wait, 19. Oh, you rolled. I see. Okay, 19. Got it.
Yeah.
All right. So a few minutes pass, and or not a few minutes. A few hours pass. Miners are working. They're groaning. They're obviously fatigued, but they're spurred on. About 4 hours pass. I assume that's when all of this conversation that we had was happening. And you see one of the guards from the entrance approaches the other guard in the deeper in the mine, and Derek, being his sort of watchful self, tries to stick close to them, and Udarnik overhears a conversation between them, sort of low because of he's not up that close, and the guard that comes in says, and then it sort of like focuses in. "Pretty light on your feet. You're also a little bit scrawny for that spear. Next time he comes around, I'll pitch you to Corbo. He's always after more squirrely kinds to bring to the monastery to train with Helen Ray." And then the other person says, "Oh, you think so? I mean, I like using the spear. And I like and he kind of knocks the breastplate. I like this. He says, yeah, well, you might serve the Divine Mountain a little bit better. And then the other guard, he just kind of like, oh, if you say so. Then they sort of like trade positions, and he walks out to the entrance. And then he looks to Derek and says, keep working! And Derek keeps working. Another...
I'm back.
Hello.
Sorry about that.
It's alright. You missed a kid getting shit kicked in, and Udarnik hearing stuff. Specifically...
I got this mysterious symbol up.
Oh, yeah. That was on the breastplate of the armor of the guards.
Okay.
Let me actually get that out of here so that... Oh, wait. I did for the stream. But you also heard...
And the map is all lettered now?
Yeah. I'm going to put a key up once you guys explore more.
Okay.
But you also heard a line of dialogue that's very pertinent to you. Two of the guards were talking to each other, and a sniplet of dialogue that Udarnik heard was, kid, you're pretty light on your feet and a bit scrawny. Next time he comes around, I'll pitch you to Quarbo. He's always on the lookout for more squirrely kids, more squirrely kinds to bring to the monastery to train with Helen Ray. Moving on. Few more hours pass. 6, actually. And you can tell that the miners, like the chink, is growing slower, but people are, pulling out ore and filling up these carts that seem to have been delivered a little bit later. And another couple hours pass. So a total of 12 hours have passed before the guards say, all right, y'all look tired. Kind of chuckles a bit. And then he says, gather up, we're going. And all the miners start to gather up, and they start hauling the carts that they're on these sort of wagon wheels that are reinforced with metal, and they rumble as they move across the ground. And every time there's a bump, they have to heave to get it out. They just start heading back. However, during that 12 hours, is there anything you guys want to do in town? Aside from marking up Tedias.
Tedias looks pretty.
I didn't say you didn't.
A few hours in, I give like a point to my mouth and see if anyone feeds me jerky.
Everyone hears Tedias' tummy rumble.
I hit him with my ration creme brulee.
All the flavors of the ration all at once, and somehow actually roll a gourmand check.
Oh yeah,
Tasty.
Wait, hold on. We'll see if it's tasty.
We ever decide what attribute?
Voice.
I think for this one, it's going to be int.
All right.
It's fucking delicious.
That's great.
You know kind bars?
No, I don't.
It's just trail mix pressed together into a bar.
Okay.
It tastes super good and somehow savory.
Yeah, I just kind of nod my head, just like, that's that.
you put up like an okay hand, like that meme with Tacha from.
Just the right spot.
Just the right spot. During this long period of time, is there anything you guys are gonna do?
Every hour, I dump a little bit of water down Tedias' throat so he doesn't get dehydrated.
You tap his chin, and Tedias is like, nah. Perfect. Okay. If nothing else, the sky starts growing dark, and the group of people start heading back. Start coalescing in town. The picks are returned, and the ore is pulled into the warehouse. You overhear a conversation. All right, turn out your pockets. And when Udarnik hears that, he sort of flies and moves onto Derek's neck. Can you roll a stealth check for him?
Let's see what he... That's +4 as well. Not a minute. 20.
All right. He seems to actually go underneath Derek's shirt just a little bit, and people start to do as instructed. And you hear one of them say, "Ooh, you found a whole bunch there." And they, you hear like the tinkling of the kind of clattering sound that like glass gems sort of make when you handle them together.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems to be taken away, and then, all right, get out of here. And people just started to return back to their hovels. Night is beginning to fall, and a couple of them gather some. You see from here. You see two of the workers grab a sack of coals that seem to be in supply here. And they start walking back, and they set up their little coal heating fires and just all start to sit and start to rest. Seems they need it.
Alright, I'm gonna poof out you, Darnik. Ugh. Well, we didn't get much, but I heard a few names. Definitely the same people. I saw the armor again, and the symbol as it kind of like draw out the triangle in the sky. The guards are no good here. But they were mentioning a name specifically. Something about a monastery with Helen on it, but I think the one we need is Oreborough. And what the hell have you done to my face?
You look beautiful.
We really
I
outdid
don't know what it
ourselves
looks
this
like. There's
time.
no mirrors, but I just kind of feel something on my face.
It's very colorful.
Oh yeah.
May I remove it, or is it a permanent fixture for right now?
Why would you want to remove it?
It is kind of itchy. I thought it was something else, like when you were feeding me like I had crumbs or something, I kept rubbing.
How was the ration?
It was very well done. I'm surprised you managed it in this, hovel.
Well, I make do with what I have.
Very well. But yes, the warehouse distributes the pickaxes. They go and divert in the paths in the mountains. I really think our best plan of action if we're trying to pick off guards is probably in those mountain passages.
I
There's only a
agree.
few at a time. If we can make our way there and wait for them in ambush during the day, we might be able to reduce their numbers a little bit.
Doesn't some cave in a bit easy?
I mean, the mines are still of value to these people. And I wouldn't have the first idea on how to start the cave-in. Regardless, the situation is where we're at. We're going to have to find this Corbeau and discuss things with him.
I wonder where the monastery is.
If you,
Quick question.
yeah,
When we found the underground little vault thing outside of Fort Stride,
yeah.
there was a group, the riders. Can I make
the order of the tablets? Yeah.
Yeah, can I make a check to see if I know of any other places that I might have heard stories about those people being?
You wouldn't know. It seems that they were sort of their own thing, self-contained in that area of Force Stride. At least up until whatever happened to them to cause them to kidnap and murder people.
Really hard to know. But if you are looking to make this easier for us and remove some of the threats, it's very similar to last time. They're all idiots. They're making the decisions because of their pocketbooks or because they want to be impressive. They like a title. They like being part of a group. They are enjoying tormenting these people at least. And whoever leaded the guard, they didn't mention that he was still alive.
Were the guards that split off, did they ever get like another guard rotation to replace them? As like breaks?
Yes. But, yeah, they did. But, that happened, like, sort of, a little bit after the middle of the day.
About midday they switched.
So we would have more than enough time to get to each different cave. Before they're all alerted.
I think it's going to be hard for them to get, reinforcements in those passages.
What do you want to do?
Like a killing funnel.
Like a killing funnel.
Funnel of death.
Well, we know we have people there. I'm thinking we hide out in this spot. We take out as many guards as we can with one group. We send the people back and say that there was a cave-in and someone's hurt and they bring in more. If we continue this for at least a little bit, we'll make it a fair fight by the time we get to the warehouse.
That's a viable plan. Just a question. How do we get from here to the path?
Not certain. I think we might have to be stealthy ourselves, and I'm not the best at it.
I just kind of shift my splint around a little.
When the dark was coming back in town, how heavy is the guard, like, at this area where they actually start getting to the rural out of the spot?
Where'd they actually get to where?
This wall. Right there.
The same number that picked them up in the morning. The whole group kind of funnels in, starts, and they started to, move the ore into the warehouse.
Why don't we create a diversion somewhere far away from the entrance?
Possible. What diversion do you think?
Fire?
I look at Delia.
Do you really think it's wise to use up resources that we'll probably need for the battle?
We'll probably try at least get there at night, and they're not going to be there until the next day.
Hey, Mike.
What's up?
When we jumped over the wall initially, there was like a wooden platform or something overhanging, right?
Yeah, that's
Was
where
that
they.
run the way?
Yeah, it's around the length.
Oh.
There's there's ladders leading up to it.
Oh, okay. When we jumped over the wall initially, there's a wooden plank that extends over with ladders. We might be able to sneak up along that during the night. At least to get to this point where you want to climb the wall again.
It's however you want to manage it. I mean, I, at the very least, can get very fast very quickly. You are the loudest and perhaps not the fastest.
I beat you in that race.
Unless there's fish involved, to say. Free fish is a hell of a motivator for you. Any ideas?
I don't know, this is a very strange predicament we have ourselves in.
I mean, I can be the diversion if we need to.
At this point, Derek comes by, and he sits down and he says, did you find anything of value in what your little buddy heard?
Man, they work you hard. Who is Corbo?
He says, hold on a second. He says, I'm trying to find when he says, oh, Corbo's, he's a strange looking fella. He wears a rock robe. Comes to town he came to town a few times. They spoke to the current occupants and took one of them up the trail.
You see. Also, in this village, there's those buildings. Across from the safe house, there's a second building off a little path. Marked E. What exactly is there?
He says, oh, that's just the tanner.
Tanner?
Tanner and seamstress.
And the tanner and seamstress still get to stay in their homes and do their work?
As far as I know, they do. They're a little... He kind of like shifts his eyes. They're a little... shady, though. I wouldn't trust them.
Who was the gentleman working in the fields last night?
He says, well, that wasn't a gentleman. He says, he looks to Illyria. And then he points to, Tadias, because Tadias looks human. You know when an elf and a human, he kind of crosses his fingers?
Yeah.
When they give each other hugs?
Yes. And you know the elves that have the gray skin?
Yeah.
No, not familiar.
You can go ahead and roll Arcana if you'd like.
Yeah, sure. Ba-da-ba-da. Little. Wow.
You know that drow exist.
Alright.
He says,
Of course we know drow exist.
Oh, yeah. No, you know it. Do you? I mean, I haven't seen one. I'm trying to think
Never
of
met a good
We
drow.
just... What was,
She was a tiefling.
she wanted to be a drow, but I 86'd that. But anyway.
Oh, okay.
But
Anyway,
yeah. He says, let's just there's actually two of them, two sisters. They work the fields at night because, well, at least it used to be, some of the townsfolk didn't trust them too much, so they prefer to work at night. Seem to have more fun that way.
I can't imagine why nobody would trust drow.
He kind of just points at you, like, yep.
How much do we know about Drow?
Go ahead and roll history. Should have had you roll history, but that's fine.
It's the same for me anyway.
Actually,
You know that they're a type of elf.
Yep.
have I had any run-ins with Drow?
You learned a lot about them when you used to live where you used to live before you ran off with Floriana. You know a lot. You know a great deal. You know about the Underdark. And
I'm
some of
gonna
their
guess
culture.
I know a bit.
Yeah, you do. Roll with advantage.
History?
Yes. Yeah, you and or Illyria and Zachariel know about Drow that they mostly live in the Underdark, well, far below the surface of the earth, because they are sensitive to sunlight, because that's where their people had resided for many years, many decades, centuries.
So, Derek, if we were trying to get to where you work, how would you get us there? What would you do if you were us?
He says, well, and then he looks at Zachariel. He kind of like reaches up and kind of like nudges the splint and it makes the tinking noise. He says, I'd have somebody create a diversion.
We were thinking the same.
Do you need someone to make a diversion for you?
Well, we have a feeling that these, guards that have been awfully cruel to you all in the mountain passes should, pay their just deserts.
I think I see where you're going with this.
They're very sparse in numbers, so we thought we'd give them a nice little visit, see if we could have a chat.
I like this idea.
So a diversion would be great tonight if possible, so we can get out of this town and get to that area.
He nods. He says, I know there's someone who might be willing to help. He says,
If it's gonna help, I could just put my splint in the bag and run across the field naked. Well, semi-clothed.
You want a streak, but you wouldn't put on ladies' clothes?
He's a very strange man,
I have my dignity.
among other things.
and his giggity.
I
Well,
just
let's
keep
back up one
thinking, like, Tadias is wearing this rainbow mustache and beard.
Oh yeah,
With glitter in his hair with feathers.
Derek is just kind of giving you this look, and he, like,
It's
he
a
opens.
side effect from the magic. Sometimes it happens.
He looks at Delia. Does that ever happen to you?
Sometimes.
Oh, anyway.
I have medicine for it, though.
You need to share some. I'm obviously afflicted.
Gnomes aren't afflicted with colorful beards.
He says, I know someone who might be able to help. He used to own, he does own, but they're currently being held by our occupants. Lydorn. He used to ranch his goats around the fields you see. Not the plowed ones, but the still slightly grassy area.
Yes.
He can probably... Perhaps he can have a breakout of his herd.
Goat stampede.
Although, he kind of strokes his chin. They've been dwindling. They've been using them, eating them. There's only about 4 left, but... Could make it work. Stroking his chin.
Do we have a time we want to try this at, everyone?
As it is now, the sun is setting. Which reminds me, I need to track the days.
I'm thinking about 3 hours past sundown, we make our break for the wall.
Are we going to head south towards the wall and run across it? Run along it? Or are we going to
The south is probably more safe. It's likely the highest concentration of guards will be by the buildings.
And you do know of that one blind spot.
We want this to be an ambush, so getting out of here is imperative to that happening. I know the route. I have watched him take it both there and back. We will lie in wait, and we will do what we need to do. So, 3 hours, 4 hours past sundown. Please tell your friend to make a diversion away from the bottom wall, the south wall.
He nods.
Yes. Sorry, I just want to clarify this. So, we going over the south wall, or are we going to get to the south wall and use it as cover to run up towards the north?
Well, if I'm looking at this map right, the wall stops here, and then there's like normal path and then mountain, right?
Oh, there's like a gate there.
There's a gate there.
Yeah.
So it's like outside of the town where they do their mining.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. So if we get outside of the town, I don't see why we could like give a wide berth and just get to the mountains. So really, it's just about getting out of here. We got in, we got our information. Now we're kind of getting out, and then we're gonna go meet up in the ambush point over here by getting around. We can hop over the wall and probably use the wall as cover. That'd be easier, I would assume.
All right.
But yes, double silence. Use the wall as best we can. Get around to the north side, and then go into the mountains. Wait there in the morning. Have ourselves a nice little time. Is everyone in agreement with this plan, or do we have any way to improve it?
I like it.
At this point, Derek, excitedly, he kind of just pats his legs and gets up. He says, "I'll go talk to Lydorn."
All right. Be well. We'll see you in the morning, friend.
Nods. He says, "I look forward to it." So, a couple hours pass into the night, and you coming from over here, like over in this direction, you hear very loud goat bleats, and then you hear a loud bang, and then the next moment there's silence. What do you do?
That must be our cue.
Yep.
So,
we start cutting southward
okay.
and trying to find that little blind spot.
All right, so you sort of exit the hovel and you look up at the wall, and you see torchlight here and here, and the torchlight here. Please ping. The torchlight here starts to move. Oh my god, I'm making it bigger, but I didn't move it. Starts to move over this way. What do you do?
Spot it.
Okay, I need you guys to roll me stealth checks. It's a group check.
Can I do the crawling thing that we did last time to mitigate it?
You can. You guys,
Yeah. I'm also going to do the leper crawl.
all right?
Yeah, not a one.
All right.
Last time it was 2 1s in a row.
You get to the edge of the wall, and let me move the party token. So you get to here, and at this spot in the wall, there aren't any ladders.
All right, hook up.
All right, roll. Give me an attack roll. Oh, are you gonna do anything else before you roll your attack roll?
I will cast silence on the wall. Then climb up without grunting noise.
Okay.
How high up is this wood?
So the wood plank is actually about 16 feet up.
Oh, I can easily jump up and grab that.
Be pretty ballsy athletics check, but Tobias, your grappling hook catches. And you start climbing up the rope, and you get to the top. Does everyone just kind of don't need any? Are you gonna help everyone up?
Yeah, I'm gonna like stay right at the top of it and just help people over the side.
All right.
I wait for the girls to head up. And I go.
You could like lift them up to like a higher position to grab the rope to get, you know.
Yeah, sure.
So you all manage to get over the wall. You watch as Valora bolts to over here and climbs up a wall and then comes over here and didn't make a sound the entire time. And the party gets up and over the wall, and you hear bah, bah, and you're up and over the wall. What do you do?
So we're trying to get over here, so I'd say we go west and then north. I kind of point out the direction, you know, SEAL team style, just kind of with my hands.
Do you guys crawl?
I believe so.
Okay.
At least to the end of the wall.
All right. I'm not gonna make any you roll any more checks because if you're crawling, it's dark. You guys get to here, and then you sort of duck low to the ground and get to here. Torchlight that's up here. You sort of just pass it. You hear some shouts, and it sort of quiets down as you get to here. And seems everything's quiet, and you see some torchlight here and here.
Are there any visible shoddy trails, or is this just like a sheer cliff?
It's not a sheer cliff. It's just really rough. So you could definitely traverse it.
I'm not good with this thing. The hard one. Don't know how you feel about climbing, but I don't mind.
I mean, all you. Your plan?
We have to get to the east path. The east one was the one where Brenda. I kind of point out, and knowing the directions of where, you know, these things converge, I'm going to try to figure out the best way to like cut across here without running over here. And then, is that just going to be like climbing, like checks kind of thing, or is it going to be something else?
Can you repeat what you want to do?
I'm trying to, you know, figure out if there's a path like into the mountains that gets me onto the trails from where we are directly, linear line, instead of like coming over here and then go.
I mean, it's not a sheer cliff or anything. You can traverse it. It's just incredibly rough terrain. You can do it. It's just, you know, you gotta scramble a little bit.
I think we could roll a little closer. We should be fine. And I start following the wall, still crawling.
Okay.
Put the cardboard box back on my head and just start going.
Roll me stealth checks.
Hey! I didn't shit the bed again.
I just rolled 218.
Yo!
All right. I need everyone to roll perception checks now. Okay, so you guys successfully get there. No one stops you. Are you gonna try to get to the trail now?
As well as I can. I try to start leading them towards the, pathways, following the, trail that we got.
Okay. So yeah, you guys make it there, and you start going up. I need to turn this music down. There we go. So, Delia, You look back as you guys get to this path and you start walking up. You notice some torchlight going over to here, and then it disappears, and then you see some torchlight from over here as you're starting to make your way up the path, and basically leave the map. Go down to the ground and exit the gate.
Guys, there's torchlight that just came out of the village.
As you guys are walking up the trail, and you notice something that you darn it couldn't really see was that there's definitely a lot of evidence of foot traffic here. Lots of footprints and the tracks from the carts that they used to haul the ore back to town with.
Mm-hmm.
You start to walk through these trails, and then Delia gives that warning.
They might have spotted us. If we continue on, we can hopefully move them. Let's move.
All right. I'm
gonna try to take them to one of the caves I know that hide it. Ooh, big map.
Yeah, big map. So, party leaves the town, gets over here, and that pass is like many miles away. So you follow the trail. Roll me another couple of perception checks. It's gonna be low DC. Okay. Delia, Tadias, and anyone who rolls over a 10. You can see behind you. You look back because they're all sort of on edge, and you see flickering torchlight from behind a bend. And at this point, you're about 50 or so yards, or you're far off from town by now, about half of a football field, sort of in a switchback, and you see this torchlight approach. What do you do?
So the torchlight's approaching from the north where we're heading towards?
No, the south.
Yeah, it's still following.
Yep. Do you keep walking? What do you do?
Does it look like there's anywhere we could duck off the side of the trail?
Roll perception.
Passive of 14.
It's true. This is at Griel searching. At this moment, you can't seem to find anything.
Alright, I draw my shield and shovel.
We can probably outrun them. He's not going to be moving that fast. If we hurry.
Alright, so coming around the bend, you see one of the guards, and torchlight, the radius of the torchlight approaches you, and it illuminates who's in front relative to the guard.
So who's in the back?
Yeah, sure.
That was me. I said I was staying behind.
Alright.
Is he alone?
He is.
Don't kill him today. Don't kill him, Zachariel.
As soon as the light hits Zachariel, I cast silence on the dude and I start dashing.
Alright, don't roll initiative yet. Let me get a page.
Alright.
Nope. Whoa, wait a minute. Okay. So I'm going to have to draw here. Hey, what's the range of a torch? Can somebody look that up for me?
I think it's 30.
Oh, it's 30? I thought it was 30 bright, 30 dark, or 30 small.
Bright light in a 20-foot radius and dim light for an additional 20 feet.
So he's got to be within 40 feet of it. He's
All right.
mine.
Alright. Let me get your tokes. That's a really bad nickname for tokens. Never mind. Forget I said that.
Give me that
That's a
toke.
really good one.
Well, he is in California.
Haha.
giving them danky nugs of item guys, circles for you.
State by state. Try whole country.
All right.
What on earth? Huh. I'll have to look at that later. Give me a second.
So, is it this mountain or this mountain that's the Grinch? Which one is the Grinch?
Which one is the cringe? Okay, moving you to a combat map. Move yourselves as you think you would be, and then let me adjust the dude for the torchlight. So I guess you would be there, Zachariel, for him to notice you. I don't know what's going on with Tom. Sorry, what?
I can't move myself.
Oh, crap. Not the right default token. Alright. Stand by.
Delia, no.
It was nice knowing you.
Oh, here we go. Hold on. I'm dumb. Should just done this from the beginning. I have a token barn for a reason.
There's a barn?
It's just what I call where I keep all of the tokens.
Yeah, it's just a page that you copy and paste.
Okay, sorry, reset yourselves. Sorry, stream.
There,
I don't have my cat.
Yeah, you do.
Did we not get a long rest?
Since when?
We got the rest when we were doing the shifts before I did.
Oh, but you still have a little bit of exhaustion, don't you?
Why?
No, I don't have exhaustion.
You all are long rested unless somebody's casted a spell.
I've casted 2 silences. One in the wall and one right here.
Okay. So, this is where Zach... okay, I'll just move him. Okay. Sorry about that. Roll initiative.
You saw my good rolls, stealthing apparently.
Hey, look at that.
Inish. There we go. Okay. Zach, alright. So that's silence. When did you decide you would cast silence? I'm assuming...
I was putting it like right here behind
No. When?
What's up?
When. It's important. Like,
He was
before
walking
or
up.
after he seemed to notice Zachariel.
When he was walking up, I saw the torch get around the bend, and I...
Alright. Then...
So you could say my first turn is done, and when my initiative, we can skip my turn? What do I do?
No. Let's say that the silence has been going on for 4 rounds.
Okay.
Alright. Illyria, he walks in and he's kind of like... Seems like his eyes kind of narrow a little bit. And, because of the silence. But then Zachariel, he walks into Zachariel, or the torchlight hits Zachariel, notices him, and then his eyes kind of go wide and he starts to turn around. What do you do?
I shoot my bow at him twice.
Alright. That is a miss as it pings off of his armor. That's a hit. Alright. It goes straight in his back. Ah! Or he would go, but you don't hear anything. It's like going right through his side. Hum, what do you do?
Hum wants to cast sleep on him.
Okay. You would need to get close. Or probably. Or actually, move it up.
I have not arranged the...
It's 20 feet of a point I choose
Ah,
within the range.
You got it. Okay. So you choose that point.
Within 20 feet.
You cast sleep.
I cast sleep.
He falls right on his front, sleeping.
Ooh.
Yeah. There's no way you would have not rolled enough to put him to sleep. He is asleep. What do? You have a minute. Actually, we're going to stay in initiative. So you do that. Do you try to get any closer?
I just say, let's tie him up.
Okay, Zachariel, what do you do?
Alright. I will. Get over here and start tying them up.
All right. Then we are definitely out of initiative.
I'm moving in and I'm gagging him.
And for good measure, I bop him on the head with the shovel.
All right.
I'm gonna
I
go
take
pull
the
my
big glittery
arrow out of him.
mustache
Okay.
and I wrap it in a sock and I shove it in his mouth. I start on that.
Another interrogation scene.
Oh,
Love it.
And I just put him over my shoulder and I start walking down the path. Once I'm out of the silence, I'm saying, we'll take him to a spot.
All right. So are you going to walk where you saw Derek go?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to need you to make a survival check because it's dark.
Okay. But
how far can we see in either direction?
It varies as you go through some gorges and either as far as your dark vision or maybe like 20 feet before a bend.
Okay.
All right, so that's enough. You do find the path. It splits off from what seems like the main path leading through the mountains. Excuse me.
Hum grabs his torch, by the way,
Okay.
so that it's not sitting there.
Got it. So you guys walk with him for a ways. Tadias, you do find the path. It is marked. Well, when I say the path, I mean like the main one. And you see you round a bend and it sort of flattens out a bit, and the trail itself, there's like a sort of a valley like, it's a very gentle slope, and the trail kind of like bumps up a little bit, and I need y'all to roll perception checks.
yeah, one yeah.
Illyria, Laura?
I'm completely enamored staring at this
Oh,
rock.
sorry.
Kind of
Perception.
looks like
You
bacon.
wanted?
That is what I said. Yes.
I'm busy looking at a rock that like looks exactly like bacon.
Okay, Illyria,
Mm.
you hear footsteps coming your way. You don't see any torchlight though. It seems to be about 30 feet off, and the road kind of slopes up a bit, so you can't really see the source. What do you do?
I ready my bow, and I'm pretty sure everybody sees me.
Everyone sees Illyria ready her bow.
I drop the dude in the dirt, grab my weapons, and I kind of
Up
push myself
ahead.
against the rock.
All right.
But
So Laura's down. Ah! What? Oh, there's a dot here. Why is there a dot here? Alright, yes. You can control Laura. Coming over the ridge. Let me draw a little thing so that you have a little sense of direction, order. Whoa! Oh god.
Whoa!
That was weird. Did you see that?
No.
Oh, good. Okay. All right. two of these dudes come over the edge, or come over the ridge and kind of see. Yeah, they look ahead, and they hear sort of the commotion, and they kind of stop where they're standing and they peer at you. And for a moment, nothing happens as they're sort of looking. What do you do? Do you do anything in the next instant?
Do they see us? Like, can we see recognition? Because I have 1 perception, so I don't see Jack.
I mean, you.
Do I notice them seeing us?
Yeah. Everyone notices this. Everyone notices this.
Alright.
They're more like here, probably. Yeah.
We only need one of them. I draw my weapons and I start moving forward.
Roll initiative.
I got a 1 again. I get all your ones. Alright.
Oh, that's too dramatic. That works. Alright. Alright, cool. This guy. Oops. This guy goes first. He kind of said he utters a curse under his breath, and then he sprints for Tadias. And he is going to make an attack against you.
An attack?
An attack. One sec. Oops. Okay. It is a 9.
Miss.
And then he follows through.
Another
8.
attack?
An attack and it misses.
Save from both attacks.
Yep. Zachriel, it is your turn.
Alright, seeing him attempting to attack the friend, I'm going to charge forward and attempt to, like, you know, kind of like bull rush him with the shield and knock him down.
Alright, roll that athletics. You knock him prone.
Alright. I go with the shovel, teeth side towards his throat.
Alright.
As I remember Tadai saying we only need 1.
That is a hit.
10.
Okay.
And 16.
That is a hit.
Another 8.
Alright.
That'll be it for me.
Fuck him up pretty bad. Illyria.
Okay, from where Valora is to the second guy there,
Yeah.
would that be kind of straight towards him?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to get her to pounce.
Can she... what's her speed?
50.
Cutting it pretty close. Oh, actually, no. Okay, yeah. She can make
Yeah,
it.
because it's within 5 feet, yeah.
Yeah, you can do it. Alright. So go ahead and do the thing.
Ooh,
Alright, out of the darkness,
nice.
Valora just pounces this guy. Go ahead and roll damage.
The damn.
Oh,
Oh.
that's a sad crit. But he's prone.
She only does 1d4 with those?
With the claw, yeah.
Wow.
But gets +6 to damage. Is she going to bite?
Oh, yes.
With a bonus action, her bonus action, she bites. And it hits. Ah! They cry out in terror as Valora bites in at this person who kind of just like takes his hands and tries to like hold her jaw open, but it's digging into his hands. Ah! Hum.
Hum is going to. Trying to see where I'm going to put her. I don't. Zachary
She can get.
are in my way.
She can get. Oh no, yeah. Yeah. She couldn't get there because of when you go through an ally, it's rough terrain.
Right.
What are you trying to get to?
So I guess it's disadvantage if I shoot him with my crossbow, right? Because he's prone.
Yeah. You can mock him, although that has potential to be lethal.
The other one
Yes.
wasn't prone, was he?
Oh, he's prone too.
Yeah, I thought so. That's
Thank you.
So Hum's going to run forward and just viciously mock this guy.
Okay. He fails. So, after being struck with the shovel, and what do you say, Hum?
I call him a dirty, rotten siltmonger.
And he kind of gives us wail, and and again,
This
Hum
has no comeback for that.
has no comeback and no life for that.
no you.
And you manage to slay another person with vicious mockery. Delia.
So we don't want to kill this guy, right?
Not the guy behind us. We can kill the other guy.
I mean, you already killed one.
I mean, it depends if we can. If we can, it might be useful to have both of them.
Can the mage hand hold things down? Like, can I hold that guy prone?
No. It can exert 5 pounds of force.
Okay.
So you can put like a milk jug on his chest.
You could drop a rock on his head.
That'd be funny.
Well, I guess I'll just cast mage armor on myself because I don't want to kill him.
Okay. Are you using a spell slot?
Yeah.
Alright. Your mage armor did. That guy's somehow still in initiative and he just kind of gurgles. This one tries to get up. Yeah, he gets up and he takes the disengage action. And he measure this thing. Whoa. Alright. Gets to here.
Wait, how? He had to use half his move to stand up.
Oh, you're right. Then he gets to here. Hey, no, I make mistakes. Thank you for reminding me.
Oh no, I was about to say like, wow, this dude's fast as hell.
Nope. That's as far as he gets. Tadias, what do you do?
I'm jumping in after him. Bonus action dash 5, 10, 30, 35. Cut him off right at the source. And can I use my action? My first attack will be to. I'm gonna try to trip him. I'm gonna use the grapple action to trip him.
Okay, go ahead and make that grapple.
Yeah. Display.
Oh, wait, not him. Dang it. Okay. You trip him.
And with my second attack, I'm going to now grapple him to pin him down.
All right. Roll that. Please. All right. He's a little bit squirrely, and he kind of tries to evade your grasp, rolling on the ground. But you snatch him, and you hold him fast.
Just get my hand over his mouth and say, "Listen here, you move, you're dead."
All right.
Now my turn.
Zachriel.
Yeah, I'll just up.
Okay. Illyria, do you want to do anything?
Maybe just send Valora over to kind of aid Tadias in case anything goes wrary.
Okay. Kind of growls at him. Anything you want to do?
Um,
Don't feel
Oh
compelled
yeah,
to
I'm
do
back
it.
No, I
here
don't
keeping
feel
an eye on
like
it.
I think I'm just gonna come back here with Illyria and kind of stand on this guy's chest back here.
All right. Did you want to do anything else, Illyria? Because I think you said something.
No, I just said I'm staying back
Got
here
it.
to keep an eye on this guy.
All right. Delia, are you just chilling?
Yeah, I'll come back here too.
Gurgle, gurgle. Sacred Stone. Oops. Monk dude. He's gonna try to get out of your grapple.
Believe that costs an action.
It does. He's gonna try anyway. Damn, you're on fire. You hold him fast.
I
He
have plus
tries
8.
to slip out, and yeah, that's his turn. Tadias.
Alright. Now, he's pinned. I'm not. I have advantage. I'm gonna punch him in the face until he's unconscious.
Punch him in the face with advantage.
Yo. I guess I can technically use res here, but it's more flavorful to punch him in the face.
That is a hit.
Yeah!
Your fist bends this tin mask that he's wearing, and gets knocked out.
And same thing, just less glittery mustache in his mouth, but the other sock just tie him up.
All right. What do you
You
do?
could put glittery beard in his mouth. You had a mustache and a beard.
Oh, he gets the beard then.
What do you do?
He is gagged with the glittery beard and a sock. I tie him up and I throw him on my shoulder. Zachariel, grab the other one, and can someone carry the dead one?
I say to Delia, you grab an arm, I'll grab the other arm.
Alright.
I'm gonna.
I walk away.
I pick up this body. I move it off the trail, like to wherever I can.
Bring it with.
All right.
We need to check him. We might be able to use the armor. I have an idea.
I'm gonna bring him with.
All right. You bring him with. All right. So, are you gonna keep looking for that spot?
Yeah.
All right.
We're not too far off, if I remember.
Yeah. So, about 30 minutes later, you find the path that leads off. Foot traffic is traveling up, and foot traffic is going off to the side. At this point, because you're all going well beyond that time, even like several hours, I'm gonna need you all to make constitution checks, or saves rather.
Yeah.
That's a nice 7.
Oh boy! Everybody except for Tadias, ironically, poetically maybe, takes a point of exhaustion. So, you're all kind of tired. Roll for Valora, too.
Do I just hit her?
Yeah, just hit Constitution.
I don't think she has proficiency. Oh no, she has proficiency in all saving throws. She.
Oh, same through. I added them here.
Valora's just fine.
And me and Valor just chucking along.
All right. So you guys, I'm being generous, even though you didn't do anything all day because it's like 4 hours into the night now. So you guys take them into the cave. What do you do? They're both of them are still knocked out, and the dead one's still dead.
So we bring him into the actual cave that they started like lighting torches and going into when he did his mining bits.
Say again?
When I watched him, he actually went inside the cave. So I want to go inside the cave and start setting up shop in there. So
All right.
I lay down, the one I'm carrying. I don't know if he's unconscious or not, but I start looking him over and start taking anything, weapons, items, check pockets for money.
Okay. The two dudes, the two monk dudes with the unarmed strikes, they both have these tin masks that have this sort of weird, or that the masks are these gilded tin masks that are a certain creature, and I want Arcana checks from anyone proficient in Arcana checks to see if they can tell what they are. Tadias, Delia, you see a little bit of a familiarity, but Tadias, you know that these are taken after gargoyles. Gargoyles are these creatures of elemental earth.
All right. I take off his little gargoyle mask and everything else that he has. Does he have anything else of like note?
Just his clothes.
All right. And then I'm gonna go check over our dude with the actual armor.
All right, the dude with the actual armor, he's got that breastplate. You notice that the breastplate, it's that same black granite stuff. When you pull it off of him, it's kind of heavy, and it's a little awkward. And he has... wait. He has 10 gold on him in mixed coin.
I hand it off to him.
Thank you.
And he also has a spear. What do you do?
Nothing else?
Nope.
I'm going to continue to undress this man of his armors until he looks pretty much like our tied up monk guy.
All right. You do that.
Make sure they're both tied up in a nice little sitting puddle in the side of the cave.
And a nice little puddle.
Yeah, and then...
You want to find like a wet puddle?
No, I meant literally like them cuddling in a puddle together.
Got it. All right.
I think they're all yours, Hum. Would you like to ask them some things?
I would love to ask them some things. And maybe some stuff, too.
I pick up the dead
Dibs
one.
on killing him.
Walk him a little bit deeper into the cave, and I find a spot to kind of like obscure the body a little bit so you can't see it from the entrance of the cave.
All right, that works.
Did we check out the cave? Like, anything around anybody?
Do you want to scout the cave?
Yeah.
Okay. You and Valora? Illyria and Valora?
Yeah.
Okay. You walk through the cave. There are several forks, several diversions. You find a cordoned off area, danger, collapse kind of issue. How far do you go?
Not too far.
Okay. About 50 feet in. About 50 feet in, maybe?
Yeah.
Okay, about 50 feet in. It goes on for a little bit more divergence. It seems that they've been working at this part for a while.
I don't hear anything.
Roll perception.
And
You do not hear
perception
anything.
for
Valora?
Valora.
Yeah. Valora's calm. Just walking by you.
Okay, I head back to the group.
Okay.
I'm gonna go over and sit down next to the guys that are tied up as Hum's getting ready to do her thing, and I'm just gonna I sit down next to him and yawn, and I just start mind gaming.
When you sit down next to them, you get this impulse from the shovel. Kill them now, is what you're getting.
Being told to kill them, Hum.
We need to find out if they know anything.
Okay, but I need to kill them. Shovel wants me to kill them. Find out what you need to find out.
Your gardening tool wants you to kill these men?
It doesn't like cultists. Got a weird thing about cultists. I mean, right, it
You get this nonverbal sort of like jolt, and it makes you think especially these ones.
Especially these ones. This is... The emotions I'm feeling are much worse than what the water cult.
That is not a good sign for what we have to do here.
I mean, we have to kill all the cultists, or the shovel is going to be happy.
Well, let's wake them.
Oh, you want to talk to them. So I sit down. Are they awake?
Not yet.
Okay, well, when they wake up, I'm going to start talking about all the water cultists that we killed, the crushing wave, how we've dried up the ocean and the crushing wave no longer exists. I'm gonna tell him about how I chopped off Yoliver's head with a shovel, just trying to like
for all the
psych
parts
him out.
that like doesn't well, actually, never mind. Roll intimidation
All right.
with disadvantage because you're tired.
Yeah. Go well.
They kind of they're gagged and they're kind of just like they kind of shrug a little bit.
All right, gentlemen, let's start. I start pointing to each one. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Catch a cultist by the toe, punch him till he hollers, then you never go. All right, I take off the mask thing off of the monk one, and I take his guy down. Did you like your sparkles? Delicious, right?
He just grunts.
I mean, I'm impressed. I thought you would be more difficult. Would you like to discuss things with him? You have a way with words.
He narrows his eyes, his chest is heaving.
She walks up slowly, smiles at him, and says, you know, you can just tell us what you know, and we won't hurt you. And then she pulls out a dagger, and she says, or I'll just cut you until you tell me what I want to know.
Roll intimidation. With disadvantage, goes tired. 16. All right. He the divine mountain will crush you, opulent fool. And then he looks at the dagger, and he kind of shrinks a bit, and he says,
I have a scarier one. I pull out Rezier and I wave it in front of his hands. You ever seen this before?
He kind of like narrows his eyes and he kind of no.
Your friends did this, and I start drawing the little triangle into his leg.
Ah!
To someone's skull in Forstride. When my friend asks you questions, you answer. And you will answer her.
Roll intimidation to Dias.
Yeah.
With advantage.
Oh.
I'm gonna reward that. I'm gonna reward that roleplay.
-1 still -1. Yo, that 4 now. I'm just stabbing a fool.
Man. I mean, you're
The feathers in his hair are kind of making the guy laugh.
Oh, ow. Yeah. What do you want to know?
So, what I need to know is why are you here?
He says,
what is Corvo doing here? What is the plan?
Here where?
In Oreborough.
He says, we are taking back what belongs to the Divine Mountain. The mountain that ever grows.
As mountains do, yes, geological. Now, what do you mean by that? Practical. Someone who's not part of the faith, what does that mean?
He says, all of the precious ores and gems belong to him. We are simply taking it back to his place of worship.
Who's him?
The Divine Mountain.
Where is this place of worship?
Kind of narrows his eyes. And he kind of just goes silent.
I'm gonna stand up and walk around and put the teeth of the shovel against his throat. I'm gonna tirelessly flex my muscles.
Now, my friend here is not as gentle as I am. And what I need to know is exactly what this monastery with Helen Ray is, because we know about it. And we will find it.
His eyes kind of widen a little bit. Go on, say your line.
You should listen to him. But listen, I'm very bored, and my shovel really likes, or really wants to hurt you. So, you should listen to him.
Fine, but when you arrive there, you will be met. And then he says, he kind of gestures, and then he looks around. What? Are we in a mining cave?
We're safe.
Uh,
From the path that we met you at. Tell me from there.
Keep following the tracks until there's no more cart tracks. And then keep following that trail. And then he starts to give you a little bit more complicated directions. Some forks where to turn. Huh?
To insight this fool.
Go ahead. Give me a second.
Make sure he's not leaving me some death trap somewhere.
You believe him for a while, and then when he says, and then turn, and then he stops for a second, left at that fork, you know that there's something amiss.
So, what's left at that fork?
He kind of pauses for a second, and then it goes through some gorge, and then it flattens out into a valley, and that's where it is.
The gorge and valleys sound a little shady to you. Do you not go there often? My friend, he wasn't kidding when he was talking about ruining a cult. Be honest with us and maybe we can work with you. Lie to me again, I'm going to start taking fingers. I'm done with your shit.
No, you go right, and it leads to the front of the monastery.
Good. Now tell me, what is Corvo? What does he look like? I've never seen the man. I know he wears an interesting set of stone robes.
He says, he has human, brown hair, brown eyes.
I'm just kind of writing it down in my note.
He's got a kind of a he can't gesture. He's got kind of like flares his nostrils, kind of a weird nose.
That's descriptive. That's helpful. Thank you. And Helen
She. One second. Wait. After this scene is probably when we'll end the session, by the way.
Yeah, most likely.
Human. Dark hair. Not entirely black. She's the abscess. Or the abbess.
What does that mean?
Roll religion.
I'm asking.
Oh, you're asking him. She leads the monastery. And he describes a sleek, crisp jawline. That's what I'm looking for. I'm trying to think of the description for that kind of jawline, like Roman jawline.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. And to everyone. Go ahead.
Do we recognize her description as Helen who sat at the desk?
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's what I was looking.
Yeah.
So Delia is at the monastery. It's good to know.
Who?
Delilah? Karen?
Lisa?
He looks confused at the party. What are you talking about?
Nothing. Now,
Ilaria, we found Linda.
you seem
Listening.
dressed up more so. You might know things. Exactly what business do they do in Fourth Stride? We know they've been there recently getting those little skiffs.
He says, I don't know. Honestly, I work and train in the monastery.
Yes, you were
Okay.
selected because you are wiry, thin. They like
I,
that.
I sure hope your friend here doesn't have better information than you.
Or different information.
Let's stick a sock in his mouth and see if the other guy knows something.
Can do.
And I shove the beard back in there and tie it up.
Okay, you do that. Then you.
I keep the shovel pressed against it.
Okay.
Feel free to get this one.
I kick at this other one until he wakes up.
And he's like kind of trying to move around. Obviously, he can't.
I pull the sock out of his mouth. How does Jaya's foot taste?
And he kind of just shakes his head.
Don't you dare say bacon.
What?
Nothing.
What are you doing here?
He kind of like looks around. He looks at himself, at his predicament. Being tied up?
I'm not here for games. What are you doing working for the crushing... Oh, wait, what is this one? Divine Mountain.
I suggest you speak truthfully, or I'm gonna pop this one's head off.
Just watching the town and keeping a lookout for invaders.
Bang up job.
It looks like he regrets following you.
Where are Carvo and Helen Ray?
And he kind of looks around again and at the monastery.
Where's the monastery?
I haven't really been up there. I know it's up the road.
Downguard, mercenary, or cold?
Is that a question you asked him?
Yes.
You say Vanguard?
I said town guard.
Oh. He kind of like, when you say town guard, he kind of like shrinks a bit. He looks away.
Right. Are you doing this by choice, or are you forced into it because your captain is missing and or dead?
What was that last part? I'm sorry.
Is your captain missing? Are you doing this because your captain's missing and or dead?
Well, they took the captain up the trail. And then he kind of just stammers and says, I was forced into it.
You were
I'm gonna
forced into
explain.
following us.
What?
The man's doing his job. But he's not making the right decisions. He's not asking the right questions. How did it turn? How are you forced to abuse, trip, punch, strike, abuse your own?
Zachary, you know he's lying.
He's lying. It's all over his face.
He's not forced at all. He enjoys it.
I lean in and put my dagger against his throat. Again, I'll ask you. What are you doing here?
I'm just doing what I told for coin and food.
Let's just kill this one, Zachariel. Just
Yeah.
Where's the leader of
Absolutely.
the guard?
It's about time.
Where's
Okay,
the leader
you-
of the guard?
Are you going to, everyone here knows that, with the human anatomy, that if you deal a death blow, there's going to be a lot of blood. Do you do anything about that?
Hey, Zachariel, why don't you open up a hole first?
I'm using a shovel. I can only imagine it's going to be super messy if I use a shovel to open a hole.
I was tucking in the ground. We'll just throw him in there. You can take his head off.
I used like mold earth on the wall of the cave.
Yeah.
Just to try to make like an indent.
Can you do it against a solid stone? Does the spell say anything about that?
I have no idea.
Loose earth.
As long as it's not worked.
Can cause it to become difficult. You can. So the earth around you is all solid stone, and to like excavate any of it, it has to be loose earth.
All right. Well, in that case, everyone back up.
Why don't we use rope and just hang him?
No, you don't understand. I'm being screamed at in my head to kill this with the shovel.
Do it deeper in the cave so they can't see it from the front.
All right.
Okay, so
I start dragging both of them into the back of the
Don't
cave.
play with your food.
So he's dragging both. So are you allowing that to happen?
Yeah.
Okay. So you drag both of them, and they and you do the deed. Add 2 concordance to your thingy.
Oh yeah.
The
I do the deed.
shovel just kind of sends you
You
like
did the deed with 2 guys in a cave?
and a shovel.
Wow.
Can't imagine
And
the
you didn't have the morals.
Sounds like Clue.
kinky. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So you do that. Add those 2 concordance, and yeah, I think this is a good place to. Well, actually, can you guys go like 20 more minutes?
Yep.
All right.
I mean, I can. I don't know.
I'm cool. I don't have actually to drive my girlfriend tonight. I'm good.
Okay. What do you guys do now?
Sleep.
Where do you sleep?
We can't sleep in this cave.
Well, we can't travel very much for that. Gonna pass out.
Why can't we sleep in the cave?
Because they'll be here first thing in the morning.
And you only have about 4 hours until morning.
They're going to be here in 4 hours. You should at least get a short rest.
What? You should what?
At least get a short rest.
Yeah. It
I'll
won't.
watch over you. You guys try to rest a little bit.
Bareback.
Okay, I think maybe we'll end the session here then.
Alright.
So you well, okay. Actually, let me try to resolve this. So you guys are planning to just take a short rest, and then what? You're gonna move anywhere, or are you still
a better option?
Are you still gonna try to ambush these guys?
They're coming here. I'm gonna free my buddy, and then we'll talk about going to the monastery.
Okay.
Because what I'm hearing is that there's 2 encampments, and I want to get on my tower, do my eagle vision, and then take out 1 encampment for the Oreborough people, and then go to the second one.
I mean, yeah, but if we don't long rest here, everyone except for you, potentially, is going to have 2 exhaustion going into what we can only assume,
It's gonna be
You play a dangerous game.
all dependent on how we do it, but I don't know how we're gonna hide on this mountain pass.
I mean, we have the hut thing, right? You could probably get up above the tunnel and use some natural terrain to
Yeah, have the ranger make it up a little bit.
obfuscate our area a little bit more.
However you guys want to do it.
Back.
Talking about how you guys are gonna rest. So everyone except for Tadias and Valora have a level of exhaustion. It's 4 days until daylight and to when the group would arrive at the cave. Zachariel has pitched the idea of getting out of the cave and finding a place around the rough terrain to hole up in to catch you up.
I
next.
like that idea.
Okay. So
Me too. You just said me too.
got it. So what do you do with the bodies?
I bury him.
Okay. You just bury you. Yeah, you totally can do that. You pile them together, bury them.
Yeah.
Where do you bury them exactly? Do you bury them like on the road, or do you try to find a spot off the road?
Anywhere? Is there like loose soil around here or loose earth?
I'm gonna
Make it
need.
easier.
I'm definitely gonna need a survival check.
All right.
Can I help
Should
him
go
while he's
out.
doing that?
You
Like,
can.
with him to carry it?
Oh, now I don't have disadvantage. Excellent.
All right. You find a spot where it kind of slopes down a bit, and there's some loose, very silty earth.
All right. I will do the mold earth thing there and throw the bodies in.
All right. You bury them up.
So, Zachary, you wouldn't lie to me, right?
No, but
Is
I
the shovel
respect
asked you to do anything to me yet?
no, the shovel pretty much exclusively hates cultists, especially these ones.
Well, this is where we found them. Found them at their likeness.
Yeah, I guess it was stuck inside that rock.
You might have to watch a lot of the horrible things.
Perhaps.
Well, that's good. It means I'm still ready.
Time for shovel vengeance.
We should get you that rest, though.
Yes.
So that survival check was to find loose soil. So if you want to find somewhere that's good to hole up, I'm going to need another one.
Ooh.
You can do like assists or whatever. I just need one.
Illyria, where do you think we should go?
Oh. Illyria, this is your favorite terrain.
Hey!
Let me look up
Oh,
what that.
that's right.
Let me look up what that actually means.
I think we move faster in it and some other... Oh, we might not have had to make those... Oh, it was because of sleep, not because of the terrain. Con saves?
No,
It
yeah.
was because we were, like, mountain passaging. It was because we're actually,
Yeah.
tired.
Well, while traveling for an hour or more in your favorite terrain, you gain the following benefits. Doesn't slow the group's travel. Can't become lost except by magical means. Here, I'll just post it.
Thanks. When you make an intelligence or wisdom check related to your favorite terrain, your proficiency bonus is doubled if you're using a skill you're proficient in. Is she proficient in survival?
Yes.
Okay, so that means you make that check with an additional +3. That's what I was looking for.
D&D math.
So it's going to be whatever you roll survival +3 to find
And that-
suitable place to hole up. What?
And I'm helping her out as much as I can. I'm not...
So you make this with advantage too.
Survival with advantage.
Let's do
We'll add
Great.
that. Okay. 18. You oh wait, well, never mind. It's actually regular because wait. You're not proficient in survival.
I thought you said something else.
No. Okay, well,
Okay, no, I'm not.
Either way, just 15 then.
that 15 is enough though. To find a spot that is kind of hidden from the road. So you guys can take your long rest. However, you will sleep in. So when you finish your long rest, you will not be able to have your ambush opportunity.
I mean, they're still going to be there.
They are still going to be there. This is true.
It's just they're not going to be, like, walking in.
True. Okay. So go ahead and resolve a long rest, and I think we'll end the session here.
Sounds good.
And next week, we'll start picking off things and maybe go into the monastery. Who knows?
Dun, dun, dun.
So,
I am so ready for the monastery.
Oh, yeah, we're going to stab Karen in the face.
all right.
Karen, Helen, Linda.
Julie?
Uh,
Margaret?
I feel like she's got many faces.
And Mayday.
All the faces.
Stab them all.
Ha!
Shoot them all. Arrows everywhere. Everywhere.
So thank you, anyone who's watching the stream right now or this YouTube video. It's a long shot, but who knows? And we'll catch you next week.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.